Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy Bobby W223. Now this is just something I want to address real quick to the folks in Ndub Nation. This really isn't a shout out. Well, yeah, I guess it is kind of a shout out, but this really isn't a stab at, or me trying to start something with Shokio. I agree with most of the stuff that Shokio says. I know the title has Shokio's name in it, but this isn't a stab at Shokio or nothing like that. But this is just something that I just figure I need to tell y'all, because I don't know if you guys just don't know or what, but I really don't give a shit about portable gaming that much. Yes, I used to have a PSP, I tried that out and stuff like that, but I'm not a huge handheld portable gamer. So this whole Wii U 8 gig memory thing, and people saying, well, what about the Vita? What about the Vita? What about it? I understand what what the Vita is and what it's doing and all that stuff. When Sony first announced that you had to buy their memory for the Vita and that it wasn't going to have any built-in memory, right from the jump, I thought that was dumb as hell. I've said this today in Shokio's video. I've said it in Ndub Nation, that I think that's stupid how the Vita and how Sony handles the memory for that portable device. And like I said, I'm not really a huge portable gamer. If I were to get one of the new handhelds, it would definitely right now be the new Nintendo 3DS. If I were to choose right now between the Vita and the 3DS, I would get a 3DS. It's plain and simple. I'm not a huge portable gamer. I don't think that the Vita is complete trash, but I understand that it needs more games. Anyway, back to the whole Wii U 8 gig memory, and then people bring up the Vita. Now, folks bring up the Vita as if I care because it's a PlayStation system or whatever. Once again, I don't care about handhelds. Just because it's a PlayStation product. Okay, yeah, I know the Vita doesn't have any built-in memory. That's dumb as hell. I agree. That's stupid. Way worse than what Nintendo is doing with the Wii U. What it reminded me of, I don't know if I said this already, I'm actually re-recording, but anyway, what it reminded me of is Microsoft and the 360, mainly the arcade system, or just the 360 in general, how you have to buy their hard drives, or at least I know that's how it used to be. You had to buy their hard drives. And if you bought a arcade 360, it doesn't come with the hard drive, so if you want more memory, you had to go back out to the store and buy their hard drives. That's what that reminded me of with Sony and the Vita, and I thought that was dumb as hell from the jump. As soon as I found out about that, I thought that was stupid as hell. Now, onto the Wii U and my whole thing with the 8 gig built-in memory, and then if you want more, you gotta get, some kind of, extra memory, obviously. My thing, this is just me personally, I know not every gamer is like this, but I'm sure that there's a lot of other gamers that are like me, and they feel that 8 gigs isn't enough to start out with. To me, 8 gigs might as well be 0, in my opinion. Now, if I were to buy the Wii U day one, which I'm probably not, and I just bought the Wii U, went home, 8 gigs, I could run through 8 gigs right now on my PS3 like that if I wanted to. 8 gigs won't even last me a week with the Wii U if I just, got the Wii U and that was it. Between demos or, DLC for, some of the games that I'm sure will have DLC, like I said, demos, video trailers, movies, TV shows. I like to download these type of music. I'm sure the Wii U will be able to play music. I like to download all these things. My PS3, I have hundreds of videos, like I said, movies, video game trailers, TV shows. I have a shit ton of songs on there, a whole mess of demos, downloadable content. All that stuff takes memory, and I understand you're not going to accumulate all that in a day. I understand that, but me personally, once again, this is just me talking for myself, but once again, I'm sure a lot of other games are like this. When I get a new system, like one of these current gen or Wii U being a next gen system, consoles like that, I like to, when I first get it, I like to download a lot of shit and see and experience what it has. So I'm sure that day one the Wii U will have a good amount of demos, unlike the PS3. For you to download day one or week one or month one or whatever. So I'm going to want to probably download a lot of that shit, a lot of the videos, a lot of the game demos, a lot of that shit. That 8 gigs will be gone like that. For me personally, like that, which means I basically have to get either some kind of internal or external, memory. separately. And my thing is, they put in a decent amount of hard drive space built in from the jump. I wouldn't feel like I had to do that right away. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? That's my thing, because like, you know, the PS3 built in, you get a good 100, 200 gigs of memory. The 360, besides the arcade model, you get a good 100, 200 or so gigs of memory. Me personally, in my opinion, that's enough to start out with. 8 gigs ain't shit for me to start out with, and that is the issue. Once again, the Vita, way bigger problem, way more idiotic than what Nintendo's doing really isn't that idiotic, especially compared to what Sony's doing with the Vita. But I just feel that it's kind of fucked up that they're only offering 8 gigs of memory built in to start out with, basically forcing gamers like me to buy some extra memory, you know, just from the jump. Like, I feel like I would have to buy some extra memory from the jump. Whereas my PS3, at least I feel like I have a little bit of a cushion to start out with. And if I want to get, you know, an external hard drive, which I do have one, but I got a good year or so later after I got my PS3, but I do have an external, you know, hard drive. I know folks that buy extra hard drives for their systems. I actually used to have a bigger hard drive for my PS3 before I got the Slim. Long story, but yeah, that's just my thing. That's really all it is. I feel 8 gigs isn't enough to start out with. I feel a good 100, 200 gigs is a decent amount to start out with, and then if you want to upgrade and get something bigger within a year or at least a few months, at least, you know, to me that's more okay than starting out with 8 gigs. I feel like I would have to buy an extra memory right from the jump. And that's fucked up. I feel like they should just offer at least a good 100 or so gigs built in. The Vita, way bigger story. Sony's fucking up with that whole Vita situation as far as the memory goes right now. They need to come out with a built-in, you know, memory version or something like that. But that's it. Shokio, no hate against you, man. You know, good videos. Try and get Pyro to debate with you. I think that'd be funny as hell. This is your boy Bobby W223 signing out.